Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies or television. I'm your host, Christian. Join with me are my co-hosts, Joseph.
Yep.
Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Jehu.
What's up?
Back again. Ian, you got some news for us this week?
Yeah, some cool stuff happening. A bunch of trailers dropped with the Super Bowl that we're going to get to. But the first thing we wanted to talk about is late last week after episode, it was official that Affleck is out of Matt Reeves' The Batman. It's going to come out next June, and they're going to.
I thought it was June 21.
Yeah, that's correct. So 2 Junes from now, it's going to have a younger Batman. It's going to focus on a rogues gallery, so multiple villains, and it's going to focus on him being a detective,
Which is great.
and
we have not had that
all
yet.
of that.
Yeah.
I'm in all of it except for younger Batman. Fuck that. We've seen it. You're not going to do it better than Batman Beyond. Move the fuck on. I would be way more into if we were in the point where we had already had like numerous Robins and our point of view young character was a new Robin.
Yep.
I'm like that.
Like we've done solo tortured Avenger enough. You know, a big part of Batman is Robin. Start using that shit.
Yeah, they kind of always give Robin a shaft. I mean, I've been
We've
doing
only
a lot of
had him once, and it was horrible.
And it
Yeah.
it wasn't even right. It wasn't like a protege mentor relationship. It was like a dude and this other dude.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they haven't really gotten this kind of Batman on screen yet. You know what I mean?
We certainly haven't gotten, like, Detective Batman.
No.
yet.
I mean, there's a bunch of stories I was reading they could pull from. One's like The Long Halloween.
Long Halloween
and
would be
one's
good.
called Hush. And like he's investigating a crime, and he runs into his normal villains, and they kind of piece together, each villain encounter gives them another clue to the overarching mystery.
Hush would probably work better just because they used a lot of bits from Long Halloween in the Nolan movies.
Yeah, so like I have a feeling that's where it's going to go. And like I've heard Josh Gad is heavily rumored as the Penguin, which I don't know.
Which guy is he again?
Olaf.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I'm hearing the Riddler is almost guaranteed to get another reboot because I think Nolan made a mistake not using the Riddler. He would have fit perfectly into that universe. And then maybe Hugo Strange is another one they've been talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The only other thing do you guys have any idea who you want to cast?
As Batman?
As a younger Batman?
The only one I've come up with thinking about it is, and he's a shitty actor, but he kind of looks the part, Kit Harington. Jon Snow.
He's so short.
yeah.
He's
Small.
a tiny little guy.
I can't think of anyone else who could.
You know what he would be great for is, again, if they move the timeline along, he'd be good as older Dick Grayson.
Yeah, I can
He'd
see that.
already been Robin. He's grown up. But he's going to be like Mark Hamill. He's going to look like he's 17 years old until he looks like an old weirdo. There's going to be no in between.
I don't know. I really don't.
I don't have
It's
it, yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
I just can't think of pretty much all the attractive, fit people of the right age are already superheroes somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, a lot of the common people are like Armie Hammer. There's been a lot.
Armie Hammer's getting up there now.
Yeah.
He was supposed to play Batman.
I know, that
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. Not quite 20.
In
It
the
was like
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
I just,
And that was by the guy who did Mad Max 2, George Romero.
Yeah.
And that was literally
George Miller.
George
George
Miller,
Miller.
sorry.
I do that all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But the writer's strike screwed that one up.
yeah.
Well, I think also the Dark Knight becoming a really big hit screwed it up, too.
But I'm excited, so we'll wait for more news. Next thing is, God, I'm going to mispronounce this, Taquito Wakiti?
Taka Waititi.
Perfect.
I love it. He officially said, like, look, stop asking me. I'm not doing goddamn Guardians 3. He says it's James Gunn's thing. It'd be like walking in and, I mean, that is such a James Gunn movie. I don't know who would want to take over that. But he said he's going to do a Marvel movie because he's been working with Disney. He just directed an episode of The Mandalorian. You told me he's doing a Hitler movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, sort of. It's not really a Hitler movie, but in a movie, he plays Hitler, yes.
With comedy, which will be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like Marvel's in a tough position here because they have to do something else with the Guardians. It's just been such a successful franchise for them. But at the same time, I feel like if they've learned anything over the last couple of years, is you can't just stick like a cookie cutter director in to make a normal movie anymore. You have to have that kind of extra vision and pizzazz kind of thing. And I don't know who you get to take over for James Gunn because he's got a very specific style.
And it's probably going to be somebody who needs it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Taika Waititi. Did I do a better job?
You did.
You did.
All right.
I don't hear any
better
difference.
pronouncing
I don't
than
hear
me.
anything different between what you said and what Ian said. It's the same thing.
But he doesn't need it. He can take his pick of the litter. So probably it'll be someone new to the big budget.
This reminds me of Ant-Man. Edgar Allan Wright got so far into it.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Surely you were trying to do that one, right?
You know what I mean.
That was
We got you.
He got so far, dropped out, the script was done, and Peyton Reed just cleaned up his mess. And I feel like that's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
They're probably going to use James Gunn's script. It's going to be, the action scenes, the storyboard, that's all been made. Someone just needs to come in and just do the mechanics of it.
The only other thought I've had is there's been so much talk of like Adam McKay joining this universe, and don't get me wrong, Adam McKay is like on top of the world right now because the last two movies are big hits. But I kind of wonder like. Apparently, he's real big into like the cosmic side of Marvel Comics, and so if they were like, "Well, come in and do Guardians 3, and it can be an introduction to your like Silver Surfer or your Galactus movie or whatever," you know what I mean? And he can kind of retool it and let it be an entry into something else he wants to do.
Man,
but
I tell you what, too, Christian Bale's wooden face would be great for Adam Warlock.
yeah,
So if you brought him with him.
I would love that.
for some reason, Christian Bale has become Adam McKay's new Will Ferrell.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
He has.
That's weird. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
The only thing I was thinking, like, do you have? I've heard you're a comics guy. Anyone you think Taki Waititi would be good for as far as that tone? You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm trying to think of, like a comedy-based thing that he would be good for.
Are there cosmic comedy based? I can't think of any.
I mean, the Guardians were kind of
that's
the
pretty much
big
it.
one, and even that was more made into comedy by,
Gunn.
the Gunn. I mean, there was comedy elements to some of the Audi series, featuring them, but yeah, that was definitely a thing Gunn made. So I can't really think of anything right off the top of my head that would work for that.
I think he's going to do Thor 4. I feel like we all think Chris Hemsworth's leaving, but his career is not as secure as like Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr.'s.
Yep.
I feel like after Thor 1 and Thor 2 kind of get ripped apart, Chris Hemsworth finally got himself one that's pretty much universally praised.
Yep.
He may have more juice in the tank than I think we think he does.
And you know what? It would be weird and awkward if they didn't do another Thor
Yeah.
movie in that same tone, because it'd be like two that's one thing and then one that's this radically different thing.
None of them are the same thing. I don't
I
think.
mean, okay, but the first two are at least
closer.
They're
the same.
tonally similar.
They
yeah.
feature the same supporting cast and shit like that.
I
Yeah,
agree with you.
I also think Avengers, like, that was almost a Thor. Thor was such a big part of that movie. I mean,
That's true.
His followers are only growing. You know what I mean? So I think that would do well. I'd be excited for it. So we'll see. Next thing is Ted Bundy, that movie we talked about last week, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron starring as Ted Bundy.
That, as we learned from Regina, is based off of something that the title of the movie is based off of something the judge said at the actual hearing, I guess, or the actual trial.
Really?
So we learned a thing
That's
today.
interesting.
Thanks, Regina.
Good look. It got sold to Netflix for $9 million, which seems very low to me. That kind of makes me nervous. As Joan said this, it kind of makes me nervous about it.
What was Zac Efron's salary in that movie?
Right?
I mean,
Right.
you can. That's like the whole thing.
Yeah. They're definitely, whoever sold it to them's taking a loss, but apparently Netflix is going to give it an awards run, so next fall, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's what I read. So it's going to have like a similar to Roma release. They're trying to play it out as an awards movie.
So are we not going to see this movie until next fall?
Next fall.
Even though we know it's already done because it was at Sundance last
And it's
week.
going in the vault, apparently. Now, I could be wrong. That's what I read
Oh.
today, though. So, we'll see.
I mean, that's fairly breaking news. That just happened.
Yeah, and I'm super excited about.
Of course, by the time this podcast comes out, it will be 2 days old. But
I think
Yeah, this one comes out to
a day old.
Yeah. But we'll see. I mean, Ted Bundy's definitely high in the priority of the conscious right now.
That's
because
true.
Of those Ted Bundy tapes, and also because everyone seems to think Ted Bundy's hot all the time now
Right.
with the memes. So
Made by the same guy. The guy who made Ted Bundy tapes also made the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, it seems like he would want a couple of weeks between his successes, but it does seem like you'd also want to ride high because everyone's already talking about
Yeah,
Ted
for
Bundy.
sure.
Yep.
Just get to like June. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can talk about it through February.
Yeah.
Take a couple months off. Release it in June.
So we'll see how it is. The next thing is the Dune movie. Announced its cast. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve. God, I'm so
Go,
bad at
Joseph.
pronouncing names.
What? Oh, Villeneuve.
Denny Villeneuve.
Who did Blade Runner 2049, which was my favorite movie of that year.
Yeah.
It's so
great looking movie,
so
just good
fucking
movie in
It's-
general.
Yeah, it's just 100%.
It makes it seem like he'd be the exact right person to do this.
Yeah, because I mean that movie is dark, brooding. You know what I mean,
Right.
and it's just so well crafted. You know what I mean, and he's bringing back some of the same cast. It's got an all-star cast. Timothy Chalamet, who's like trying to be young Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's actually no, that's fair.
Yeah, he's starring in it. Rebecca Ferguson, who's in the Mission Impossible movies,
Yep.
she's playing his mom. Oscar Isaac's playing the head of this family. The mom's like a concubine. And Stellan Skarsgård is like the rival. Dave Bautista is his henchman. Zenyatta, who's in the Spider-Man movies, is Mary Jane.
Zendaya.
Dude, if someone knows how to say Zendaya better than me. So, I mean, that's a really good... Javier Bardem has just got cast too. That was the most newest one. So, I mean, that's a lot of famous people.
Yeah.
It is.
If people aren't familiar with Dune, how it's been described to me is like Game of Thrones in space. It's like a bunch of noble families on different planets, and like they're warring, and there's a lot of backstabbing.
So it's a very famous sci-fi series, but it's real old now.
Yeah, I think it first showed up in the '60s, right?
Somewhere around that time frame,
It
yeah.
is like Game of Thrones, and it's a long, sort of interwoven epic over various books. There's already been one movie on it, which is just a strange movie, like it.
1984 with Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan, directed
Starring
by
Sting.
David Lynch.
Yeah.
Holy
But they were trying to sell it sort of like
Yeah, Sting
Star
is
Wars,
in it. Yeah.
but directed by David Lynch and based on this much darker property. I mean, I can remember having a Dune coloring book. That's how they were trying to market it.
I
And
remember
it
playing
was
a
not
Dune
that.
video game.
Yeah.
It was like Warcraft back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was over the top.
There are giant worms in it.
Yeah. They made a 91 miniseries about it too. That
Yeah,
was
I've heard
also-
that's good, but I've never watched
Yeah,
it.
so I mean, it's been done, but I think this hopefully is the preeminent one that
Sure.
people think about. All right, so moving on, the last thing we're going to do is all the Super Bowl trailers, guys. The first one, we're doing these not in any order, is the Twilight Zone with Jordan Peele.
Yep,
It's going to be on the CBS streaming website, CBS streaming app.
which
All
is
access.
a pain in the ass, but sure.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? I mean, that was a cool ass commercial.
I mean, I'm excited for the Twilight Zone to come back. I feel like right now Black Mirror is the closest thing we have
Yeah.
to what Twilight Zone was then. But I don't have a problem with the fact that Black Mirror is 100% technology focused, but I'm also okay with going like further sci-fi with it and exploring different worlds, different realities, and all those kind of things that Twilight Zone's famous for. I think it's a good time for it. I think it's a good person for it.
Jordan Peele's voice, just fit perfectly for that
Oh,
monologue.
yeah.
I'm a bit biased, but God, that stadium is gorgeous, and it was really cool that they shot the commercial in there, and it was kind of unexpected. When the trailer started, I didn't realize that's what it was going to be for, but it's a cool trailer.
What do you think?
I love the Twilight Zone. I think Jordan Peele is great for it because a lot of times old Twilight Zone episodes that were awesome were also kind of corny. And I think having him involved, they can sort of straddle that fence and, maybe do some things that are not necessarily like as Black Mirror, as like super serious, critique on society. It can just be kind of stupid and spooky.
Yeah, I love old school Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Some of those are just so good.
Yeah,
I'm in the minority that loves the Twilight Zone movie. I think it's pretty fun. It's bad, but it's fun.
except for that whole murdering thing, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
So yeah, moving on. Toy Story 4 dropped a
Also has Jordan Peele in.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. It's one of the carnival prizes. I think he's the blue one. But yeah, it's not a lot to it. It looks like it's going to revolve around some sort of carnival, I would imagine.
I don't know
From
if
what
it
saw.
revolves around that.
All
if
the
that's just a scene. Yeah.
advertising has been for that, but I don't know that.
Yeah,
don't
I know
the case.
Bo Peep looks like, she looks different. And she wasn't in 3, right?
Nope, she's not in 3 at all, and that's a
So,
plot point.
yeah, she definitely doesn't have the Bo Peep outfit. It was way different. It was a staff now. So I'm sure there's
She's
going to...
had that, but she doesn't have the big poofy dress and stuff like that.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves has a mystery character in this movie that is not in the advertising. They don't tell us who it is.
I hope it's like Superman or something.
I don't.
hope they got
I'm just
licensing
excited
for
about it.
something.
I feel like doesn't it have to be a Neo action figure?
That would be so
sure
great.
could be.
That'd be
That
so
would
great.
be cool.
My feelings is I like the Key and Peele part of it, but I have decided before I even saw this that Pixar is getting no more of my tears. I'm tired of their fucking sadness porn.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I'm not giving them any more money.
I'm kind of done on Pixar sequels. I wish we got back to just the original stuff all the time.
Yeah, they haven't. When's the last original? They did
Coco.
Coco. Coco was really good.
2 years
And
ago.
Moana. I think.
Yeah, Moana's
Moana's
really
not
good.
Pixar. Moana is Disney
Oh, it's
animation.
just Disney.
straight Disney.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the only other thing I was thinking.
Don't come into my house about animated movies.
I know I read that Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, they both recorded their the final lines this week, and they said they couldn't even get through it. So it's definitely going to be another tearjerker.
Hopefully, it's the end.
Yeah.
Come on, can't one of these just be fun, you know? Like, my favorite one of all these is probably Monsters, Inc., because it never once attempts to make me cry. It's just a funny, fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, A Bug's Life's up there.
I like Bug's Life a lot, too.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Next is they did a 30-second Avengers spot. Didn't really show a lot, but there was some new stuff. What do you guys think?
It basically was like, I think it was like, something might happen is basically what that was. And, you know, I'm sure something will happen, but it didn't give you a... It looked cool. Everybody looked cool, but, you know.
It looked like Cap was sitting in like an AA meeting to me.
Yeah. There's like a survivor support kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know
we
why
think.
he's strapping on his shield. He throws the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe
Well,
it's
his
the, maybe it's
hand
the
was
old
shaking,
school.
like,
Yeah.
He has to tie it on there now. He's got PTSD.
I like Nebula with Tony Stark. It looked...
You know what I really liked about that bit is it reminded me of Iron Man 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like when he was like in the cave.
And this is my prediction. After watching that trailer, I predict he's going to use his arc reactor like Iron Man 1 to put it into the ship, and that's how he's going to fix it somehow.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah.
I also, before this, you know, I thought, since everybody's speculating this will be the last hurrah of the original Avengers, I figured most of the survivors who weren't those guys were just going to be like supporting background, helping them get to point A from point B things. But it looks like they're going to be in it. It looks like Rocket's going to be a part of the Avengers, and I think that's awesome.
I like that Rocket had like a comic accurate costume.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
He had
He
like his
did.
gloves and everything.
Yeah.
I like that Cap was back front and center.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I enjoyed most about the trailer is like they address obviously what happened, but on a big scale, like what's going on, like how the whole world receives it. Again, I think we're
so little.
maybe 7 total minutes by
Yeah.
the time the movie comes out is what we're actually going to have seen. And this movie's probably going to push 3 hours.
100%, yeah. I thought it was the coolest scene was definitely Rocket walking with the Avengers.
Yeah.
I like the mix and match of characters.
I think also there's some things in these trailers that's not in these. Like when the 4 of them were walking across that grassy field there.
Someone's edited it out.
Right, there was a weird spacing there.
If I had to guess, that's Brie Larson cut out.
I think it's Captain Marvel
Yeah.
as well. What's up with Thor? Like,
Yeah.
he was, like, standing out looking over something.
It was like a hut on the beach.
I
Or
thought
the
it may have been
mountain cliffs.
Wakanda.
Yeah, that's a good... Could
But-
be. Because Rocket's in that same house. So Thor and
Oh,
Rocket
yeah.
are both in that same house. It's like looks like a log cabin shack, and it's like open the door, and it's like cliffs into the water.
Did he have his cape back in Infinity War? I can't remember.
Yeah, at the end he got his cape.
He
back.
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know. We're all going to watch that movie. I think that's the most hyped movie ever.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. There were a Captain Marvel short spot. A lot of it was the same footage, but there was some new stuff. Like, the one that stuck out to me was the end scene. She's like flying through the air with like all her Captain Marvel powers going, and she literally just rips right through a spacecraft and demolishes it.
I liked the Captain Marvel one the better of the two, just because it was shiny, shit blew up, and it was definitely like things are definitely going to happen. You know.
Yep.
So I'm pretty into that. Actually, I liked that the best of all the trailers they've done of it so far, just because it's what you do with the 30-second spot. You just be like, here's some fucking shit.
Yeah, here's some shiny fucking action.
Yeah.
I think that Sam Jackson looked that de-aging they've gotten down.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's very good.
You know,
They are like the experts at it.
Also, Sam Jackson has aged exceptionally well.
Well, that's the thing, because he looks younger in this than he actually looked in 1995.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. That's coming up like
Next
a month,
month.
1 month.
Yeah,
So
very
we're
soon.
pretty close to that. There was another trailer for Us.
Yep.
Which is a Jordan Peele movie.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, that dude is like taking over Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if I was Michael Keegan.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting left to the dust. You could tell he's like the untalented one. But yeah, I think the Us trailer looks super creepy. It's got Winston Duke, Lupita Nyong'o, and I think what's cool about it is, like I read, they're playing two characters the whole movie, so that's like different than a lot of movies. You know what I mean? They're playing the villain and the hero.
I mean, look, doppelgangers are inherently creepy, so I'm super on board with it. I'm excited about it.
I feel like I'm bad enough that if I met my doppelganger, we could just team up and get into some shit.
I mean, you might be the evil twin.
It might be the better version.
No, 100%. I might have to take out the good version.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think it looks like a Get Up sequel, kind of. You know what I mean? It's
Get
got
Out.
that same tone. Get Out sequel. So we'll see. I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be good, I think. And then the last thing was, I think the best trailer, save it for last, was the Hobbs and Shaw trailer.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
So the actual trailer dropped this week. The full 2 minute 30-second trailer dropped this week before the Super Bowl, and they had a 30-second spot.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's talk about the real trailer.
Yeah, the 30-second spot is entertaining. But usually a trailer has like maybe 30 seconds of good stuff. This whole trailer was phenomenal. Yeah. It's action. It's goofy, like quips and banter and shit. I don't know. It looks super fun.
It is arguably the most fun trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Like,
It's a pretty fun trailer.
Yeah.
everything you want, like explosions, car chases. The Rock
Yeah.
says some cocky shit. Jason Statham has like funny British quips. Idris Elba's like, I'm a badass. Like, it's just,
I'm a superhero.
That's awesome.
it was just insane. It's like a caricature of what movies should be,
Yeah.
and yet still awesome.
On board, super on board.
I did realize what had been my problem with The Rock the entire time in these movies. His name's stupid. Everybody else in these movies have, Vincent Toretto. That's a good name. Brian the White Guy. That's a good name. What's his name? Deckard Shaw. That's a good name.
Yeah.
Luke Hobbs sounds like a guy who plays rhythm guitar in the Zac Brown band. It does not fit with The Rock.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm super stoked. I was on the fence about this one, but once I saw the trailer, I'm real excited.
The best thing in the whole thing is, and I think you said this in our group chat, is like they were at a point with the Fast and the Furious franchise. They had two routes they could go: superheroes or space.
Yep.
And they chose superheroes.
They're probably doing space next.
Space is number 9.
Yeah, it just looks fucking insane.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It looks super fun. I mean, Idris Elba is a great thing to throw into there.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe this will actually be the thing that really makes Idris Elba happen.
It
Yeah.
won't.
Nothing will. It's not possible.
He's always kind of happy.
I know, but
He's never been A-list.
If he's never going to get A-list after his speech at Stackard Pentecost in
Cancel the
Pacific Rim,
apocalypse.
he'll never be a thing.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. But that's all the news, guys.
cool. So join us a little later this week. We are going to do a director showdown between our two acclaimed middle-aged, heavy-set, bearded directors, Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro. More similar than I had anticipated. So, join in. It should be an interesting discussion. But if you want to reach us, thank you guys for listening. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at betterthantransformers@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter @RealPhonies. Thanks to Zach Evans for art and Brian Velasquez for our theme. And we'll see you guys later this week.